mainly three. For example, one, that they have to ensure territorial integrity of the country. Number two, they have to protect political independence and sovereignty of their state. And third vital interest for any country is to look after the socio-economic welfare of the people. Now, every country has the right to pursue these goals. But when you infringe upon the vital national interest of another country to defend your own interests, that creates a problem, and therefore then it brings in a conflict, and that disturbs the international peace. So that's the first thing I wish to do. Secondly, I just wanted to say that global peace is not possible without international and global justice. If you don't have justice anywhere, you will not have peace. Whether it's a country, it's a region, it's at the international level. So first of all, we have to identify that there has to be global peace to ensure that global justice to ensure global peace. After having said that, I would say that unfortunately, in the last so many years, we have been drifting from the actual path of peace. And if you recall, at the beginning of the 20th century, there used to be many conflicts. And resultantly, in 1914, there was First World War. Since I am a soldier, I've studied the military history that way. And it is really shocking to know that there were about 60 million people who lost their lives or became handicapped or disabled, and many people were really uprooted, and it was a disaster. So therefore, it was felt that to ensure global peace, we need to have some sort of arrangement at the international level. So League of Nations was made. But League of Nations also did not succeed in its mission of global peace, and resultantly in 1939, Second World War started. And then the casualties were much more. If in the First World War it was 60 million, in the Second World War it was 100 million casualties. And in addition to that, nuclear bombs were used against Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So that broke everything. So therefore then it was realized that you need some other arrangement. And United Nations was formed in 1948-49. And their mission was, again, broad mission was peacekeeping. And it was conflict resolution. In addition to, for example, population control, climate control, refugees issues, health and everything. But unfortunately, it is very shocking to know that even after United Nations came into being, there have been many conflicts: the Korean War, the Vietnamese War, the Gulf Wars, the Afghan conflict, Afghan War, Arab Wars, Yemen War, and so on. And the casualties have been as much as during the First World War. And still there is no peace. So therefore, what I want to say, availing this opportunity, is that instead of having a debate on this and giving your views and then we disperse, we must pinpoint the areas which need to be attended to. So today, when I just have a bird's eye view of the globe, I feel there are 4 flashpoints which have the seeds of even nuclear war. And in that, one is, for example, this Ukrainian conflict. Unless we identify them, we will not be able to resolve them through peaceful means. Second is tension in South China Sea. That can also escalate. Third is Middle East, the Palestinian issue, long issue. You don't have to fight to decide on this. You don't have to use weapons of mass destruction. You have to sit together and you have to understand each other's viewpoint and then decide in the light of United Nations Charter and resolution. And fourth is, for example, Kashmir in South Asia, where I come from, Pakistan. And honestly, trust me, over 100,000 lives have been lost so far because they are fighting for their independence according to UN resolutions and charters and all that. I don't say that war is an answer to anything. I think for that we need to sit together and resolve this issue. The short-term strategy to attain influence is that you have a regime change, you extend your influence to another country, you exploit any fault line in another country. That will create problems. That is a short-term strategy. You may gain, but that will not be, that peace will not be lasting. For a lasting peace, what you need to do is peaceful coexistence. Number one. Number two is that you need to bank on connectivity, cooperation, communication, conciliation, and understanding each other's viewpoint, and then sitting together and deciding those issues on give and take. Because since I said that I am a soldier also, wars are destructive. Wars solve no problem. They give you a temporary peace, and therefore if the issues are still there, they will create problems. So therefore, I would just in the conclusion say that we must now concentrate on the flashpoints. Number one, that Ukrainian war, we must try to solve it peacefully. And I am sure if the countries are involved, the superpowers and the bigger countries, and no country wants war. Ukraine doesn't want war, Russia doesn't want war. So therefore, if they are convinced, they can do that. Second is all this South China and the Palestinian issue and the Kashmiri issue, they can all be resolved through peaceful means in the world that we are. The other issue is terrorism. Now, terrorism again, killing people in other countries and in own country, in the region, globally, again that brings in tension and the peace suffers. Then is the climate change issues that again create disturbance. Like for example, Pakistan contributes to the climate environmental pollution only 0.8%. But we are worst hit in the world. And I think such countries need here. So climate change issue is again. Plus is economic research. If you have nothing in stomach, then there can be a problem. Then refugees issues. For example, in Pakistan, after the Afghan wars, many wars, there are 3 to 4 million Afghan refugees still in Pakistan. Pakistan economically is again not in a good shape, but yet you have a burden of these refugees and United Nations has to solve them. Then is trade being used as a weapon. Afghanistan, it is good that they have their own government. But the point is we haven't recognized, no country has recognized. Unless you get close to them, you open your embassies in Afghanistan, you listen to their problems, you bring them into the mainstream, there will be problems. And that is why from their side, there have been now attacks, terrorist attacks in Pakistan. And in last few months, we have lost over 100 army soldiers and even second line forces. So therefore, we feel that even Afghanistan needs to be brought in the mainstream. And lastly, I would say that Islamophobia should be finished. Okay, so now, thank you very much for all the